How to change your dating life when things aren't going well. So I'll be honest, I really didn't want to make this video. This is a conversation that I'm not particularly passionate about at this moment in time. There are many other topics and things that I would prefer to speak about, but I'm going to do the video anyway. So it's funny because when you say the word change, I just want to first start off by saying I ain't trying to force anyone to change, because what I've learned from being around people and stuff over the years is that you can't force people to change, because most of the time people just get upset, they get angry, and they just simply won't do it. So, but what you can do is, for people that are open to changing and they want to change and they want your opinion or advice or life experience or teaching, whatever you prefer, you can obviously, if you want to, you can pass that on, you can give that to people, and you can feel good about being kind and sharing that with people, and you can hope that it will benefit them, it will change their life. So the life experience I'm going to share with all of you, first and foremost, it changed my life. It changed my life at least 3 or 4 times throughout the duration of my life and my time in this place, on this earth. It served me really well, and when I say change my life, I'll try and be as honest and straight as I can. It got me a lovely girlfriend, a good relationship, right, with the girl of my dreams at that particular time. It really made me happy, and it got me over my fears and my insecurities, and it got me confident. It got me feeling good about myself, and it totally changed my surroundings, my friends, my whole life, with the advice that I'm going to give you. So the way that you change your dating life when things are not going well, the first place you start is by changing the way that you think, because it's only human nature to begin with, right? It's the easy option. It's a knee-jerk reaction for most people. If things are not going well, what do? Number one, you complain that it isn't going well, and usually number two, you blame. You blame someone, or you blame your circumstance. You don't take responsibility. You don't look at the situation and say, well, okay, my dating life isn't going well. Obviously, it's making me unhappy, right? Obviously, you're human, and it's getting to you, and it's upsetting you, and it's making you feel depressed. It's making you feel frustrated and unhappy. But most people don't go, but how can I change myself? How can I change something about me? And it doesn't, usually, you don't have to change everything about yourself. Sometimes people exaggerate with self-help, or with confidence building stuff, or positivity. People, it's life, people exaggerate, but you've got to change something. You've got to change something about you as a person, the way that you're thinking, the way that you're conducting yourself, in order to get the result that you want in your dating life, get the relationship that you want, and for it to change, to see a positive change, right? Because that's what people are frustrated about. They're not seeing a positive change. It's the same solution, it's the same outcome every single day, and that outcome for a lot of men can be being single and not being able to attract a woman into your life. Maybe you're trying online dating, or whatever you're trying, or maybe you're trying nothing at all. Some guys don't even try it, but they're just frustrated and angry that life or somebody else hasn't given them what they feel they deserve and what they want. So the frustration then is to start saying, well, this is how it is, and dating's terrible. It's everybody else's fault. It's women's fault. It's this person's fault. And in all honesty, throughout my life experience, I've learned that's like the worst attitude you can have towards yourself and towards dating and life. With that attitude, nothing's going to change. It's actually going to get worse. You're just going to keep causing negative outcomes for yourself, right? And that's the predicament that everyone falls into until they learn how to get out of this, right? I speak from experience. That's how I was many years ago, right? I felt really hard done by. It's not fair. I'm a good person, you know. I'm kind. I've got a good heart. Why am I suffering? Why haven't I got a girlfriend? Why is so many other guys out there got a girlfriend? Why are they happy? Why have I been rejected? Why are women not interested in me? Why are they not showing any interest in me? Why is it so unfair? Why does this keep happening to me? A classic, obviously, a victim. I fell victim to my circumstances, and then I would blame. Then I'd say, "Oh, you see, it's because I haven't got any money. If I was rich, if I had loads of money, then I'd have women interested in me. Oh, it's because I don't have I don't have a big muscly physique. You know, I'm not like a bodybuilder. I don't have massive biceps. That's the reason why women don't show an interest in me. Or it's because I'm too nice. You know, I've gone through my life being too much of a nice. I'm a softie. I'm a pushover, and people don't respect me, and it's not fair, and that's the reason why. Or I'm not good looking enough. It's because I just don't have model looks. I'm not your typical stereotypical cutout of what women find attractive. So I went for all those excuses, you know, because at the time that was the best thinking I could come up with. That's where I was, you know, mentally, emotionally, whatever you want to call it, spiritually, and most people around me were thinking the same thing. The friends that I was around at that particular time had also had a negative outlook, and also telling me directly or inadvertently that no, life's unfair, the dating situation for me is unfair, and that's just how it is. But it's not my fault. So I wasn't taking any responsibility. The friends I was around were kind of like, you know, they were making me right, which at the time made me feel good, because I didn't like the situation, but it's like, oh yeah, see, my friend agrees with me, see, I am right, you know, dating is unfair, I'm not the problem, it's everybody else, it's women, it's society, it's this, it's that, it's, you know, even as in some cases it's school, it's or maybe my parents didn't tell me something about relationships I missed out, or it's the area that I grew up in, you know, because I grew up in this area, and it's a negative area, and it's rough, and there's a lot of negativity and crime going on, you know, all the different reasons that I went through, all the different rationalizations, all the typical psychological projections, and all of the scenarios that I went through. But I have to be honest, for me, they got to a point where it just got exhausting. I just got sick and tired of moaning, complaining, blaming, projecting. I started to see, you know, people say, I started to see the light in regards to, there were times where it was really hard to admit it, but I started to think, well, it could be me, you know, maybe because I'm such a negative person. Well, I wasn't a negative person in every area of life, but in this area, I've got a very negative outlook on this area of dating and relationships. Now, there's a lot of negativity, and you know, there's a chance that maybe this is putting women off. Maybe women can see this in me. Maybe they can sense that I've got low self-esteem, and that I don't believe in myself, and that I'm down on my luck, and I've already made up my mind that women don't like me, and I've given myself 1,000 reasons as to why they don't. I'm not good looking enough, I don't have a six-pack, I don't have money, I'm not a celebrity, I'm not popular, I'm not your average, your typical pin-up on magazines or on the TV. So I'm not flavour of the month. So, you know, after going through all of these different scenarios, I had to start also looking at, there are a lot of facts around all of us, that how comes there are other guys in the world that didn't have loads of money but they had a lovely girlfriend? How comes there was lots of other guys who didn't have six packs They didn't have big muscly physiques, and they weren't what you'd stereotypically call they weren't model looking. You know, they were average looking, right? I don't like calling anyone average looking, but from what society would say. But they've managed to get a girlfriend. So what's my excuse now? What is my excuse? Because initially my excuse was, well, you know, women are not going for me because I don't have loads of money. But then once I started seeing examples of other guys who didn't have loads of money, just had a regular job, or they were studying at uni, or they were trying to figure out what they want to do in their life, but they had a girl that absolutely loved them and a lovely girlfriend, I start to run out of excuses now, because I've got evidence to back up and make my theory wrong. So now I have to admit I'm wrong. And I think this is the problem that a lot of you are having, that you won't admit that you're wrong. And it's not like wrong in where I'm not suggesting or assuming that you should put yourself down and you should hate yourself and you should judge yourself. That's not where I'm coming from. But your thinking's wrong. You know, the way that you think is wrong, which is why your dating life isn't changing. It's too negative. And if you have got a negative attitude towards something, it's just going to bounce back at you. Whatever it is in life, it doesn't have to just be with women. I've found that myself, right? As someone that got sick and tired of being negative and decided to dedicate my whole life to being positive, right? And as soon as I started to approach the positive mindset, I found Les Brown online. He changed my life through listening to his talks and the things he was saying, which was common sense, all common sense. It's all common sense, but it's all brilliant advice that works. And then, you know, I remember even family, and they were great and they were right. You know, in the kindest way they could do it without offending me, would say, you know, maybe you've just got to start believing in yourself a bit more. Maybe you've got to look on the bright side. You know, there is someone out there for you. So I started to get more positive influences, and the negative people that were around me that were also struggling with their dating life, I started to think, you know what? They are negative people there, and so am I, in all honesty. My friends are very negative and I'm a very negative person, so I can kind of understand why a woman wouldn't want to date a guy, you know, that is so negative. It's got nothing to do with how I look or how much money I've got, or, you know, where I went to school or where I grew up or my upbringing. It's actually me, it's my attitude. My attitude stinks, you know. And yeah, I could make excuses and go, well, you know, I went through bullying at school, and you know, there were things that were said to me that were not nice by the kids, by some girls at school, guys. I could use all that as excuses, but you know, I couldn't hide from the fact that how many women were nice to me. You know, like how much my mum loved me and treated me well growing up. My nan, my aunties, they're all women. They treated me well. Look how many school teachers at school that were women that were lovely to me. So I'm running out of excuses now. I can't blame women. I can't say the entire female race is against me, because I've found evidence to prove that to be untrue. But the real change comes, and it always comes from you. And that's what happened to me. And then it did change. And then I stopped. Eventually, I weren't around negative friends anymore. And it wasn't long, I was in a relationship. So this is how you solve your dating life when things aren't going well. But no one could force me. My dad couldn't force me. My mum couldn't force me. You know, women couldn't force me. Society, no one could do that, and I can't do that. And I'm not even going to attempt and try and do that. That will give me another nervous breakdown, and I'll get myself stressed out. So I make this video in hope that people will receive it in a really genuine, kind, positive way, and it will help you to change your life. But I am not responsible for your life. You're responsible for your life, as we all are, right? And I want you guys to succeed. I want you to win, because I know that you're good people deep down. I was a good person, so you're not a bad person. You know, I wasn't a bad person for thinking so negative. I was just a negative person, you know, because that was the way that I was dealing with it. So that's the most important thing to begin with, before we get down to, you know, how to have a conversation with a woman, how you should dress. You've got to start believing in yourself. You've got to have gratitude in life. You've got to have the attitude, I'm thankful that I've got my family, or I'm thankful for my health, I'm thankful that I can eat, I'm thankful that I've got, you know, a lot of the basic things in life that some people around the world don't even have. So I'm already in a good position, and I've got to not allow this negative voice inside my head to dominate my life and my thinking. I've got to take control of my thinking and start practicing positive thinking. And positive thinking is not an overnight thing. It takes time. It's like muscle. You've got to work at it. The same way negative thinking is not just overnight. It's an accumulation of many days of thinking negative. Years. Some guys have been negative for 20 years. They still haven't got a woman. And it's not because they can't. They're sabotaging it. They're making themselves get bad luck. They're pushing all the women away through this toxic negative thinking. And that's really the truth of all this, guys. And a lot of you don't want to hear it. Well, it's always like that with the truth. But for those of you that want to hear it, then great. So some of you are not going to like hearing it, but you're not forced to watch the video. So loads of questions over the years on my channel, on forums, and I've heard it in many different groups of men talking amongst each other, and I've seen, damn, the negativity. And that was how I was until I changed. And when I changed myself, which took 2 years, it wasn't overnight, because I had to unload all of the negative baggage I was carrying. I had to change my ways. I had to work on building new habits. I had to build my confidence, and then I attracted the girlfriend, and it had nothing to do with money. I'm not a millionaire. I never had that much money in my whole life compared to other people. Didn't need it, you know. And then when I started to make a good living, I already had a girlfriend. She was with me at the start when I didn't have any money. So it wasn't for the money, because I didn't have any money. She used to joke with her, and she'd say, well, I'm not with you for money because you don't have any money. I started to make money later on. It wasn't because of my six-pack. I didn't have a six-pack. I didn't have muscles. I didn't have all that. There was a period where I had all that and I still couldn't get a woman. So guys, try and project onto excuses. And when you run out of excuses, your dating life's going to change. And when you've got this good attitude towards women, I've said it in videos before, guys don't seem to get into the head. When you respect women because you respect yourself, and you've got a good attitude, regardless of the things you go through, you're not the only one. Everyone goes through it. You think you're the only one who's been heartbroken? You haven't. You think you're the only one who's felt inadequate or not good enough? Everybody's felt like that at some point. Every guy felt like that. But you can't stay there if you want to see changes. So you can't just sit there and go, dating isn't working out. I've sent a few messages online. No women's got back to me. I'm just going to complain and feel sorry for myself. Then if you do that, then good luck with that, because that's not going to get you nowhere in life. Women are not going to date you based on feeling sorry for you. They want to see you take responsibility. They want to see you positive. Even when it's hard, guys. Sometimes it's hard for me and things ain't going well and you feel down. Still be positive. Still say, I'm a positive person. I believe in myself. And with patience and belief and conducting yourself, you know how to do it, guys. It's common sense deep down, and deep down, and I knew. Get yourself around positive people, and the only way you're going to do that is by being positive. Look, in life, this is just how people are, men and women. All of us are like that. People don't want to be around negative people that make them feel depressed and make them feel down and dark. Most people don't want that, right? Unless they want to stay like that. People want to be around positive people, strong people, good people that make you feel good. And of course, it doesn't mean when you're a positive person and you change your dating life that you don't. We all have bad days, and we all have days where we feel negative, but you've got to learn to train your mind to be able to still think positive and get yourself out of that negative thing. So you've got to take responsibility, and a lot of this is all about becoming a man. Guys are confused about, how do I be a man? You've got to learn to think positive, and that's when a woman is going to be more attracted to you. And all of you guys can do it. All of you can do it. I don't hear any guys say, oh, well, do you think that guy can do it? I've seen it. I've seen the changes. I did it. And that's enough for me to know that all of you can do it. Because I was a negative guy. I wouldn't want to hang out with the old me at that point. It would be horrible to be around the old me. It would. And I can admit that now. Now I love being around me because I feel good about myself, and I've changed. So you guys have got the power within yourself to change, but you have to activate that, and you've got to practice positive living and positive thinking, and then things will work out. And you've got to be patient. Dating can be a tough thing. It can take time. There is frustration, there is rejection, but hey, that's life. It's the same for everyone. At some point, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And if you can be positive when things ain't going well, then believe me, when things are going well, you're going to be the most positive person on the earth. So there's a woman out there waiting to date you, but you've got to get your attitude right. So, you know, they say questions like, if you could talk to your younger self, what would you say? Everything I've just said to you guys. But it's not about me today. It's about putting my life experience out there for the guys who need this information and are really going to appreciate it. For those of you that don't want to hear it, I totally, no problem, I respect that. I'm not going to get into arguments and stuff like that of you. I'm too self-disciplined, positive. I wouldn't waste my time. There's too many positive things to do. But look, I'm going to be honest. I do have compassion. I do understand what it's like for guys when they feel frustrated and they feel upset and they're not getting anywhere and they feel rejected and they think things have been unfair. And I know people. Look, I went through many things in my life that were well out of order. They weren't fair. But if I use that as an excuse, then I'd always be living in the past. I wouldn't be able to have a better life. So the positivity is really important, and then all the other things follow. And of course, guys, improve yourself. Get down the gym, improve your physique. You know, improve your career. Then improve your finances. Improve all the things you can change. But none of these things are going to matter if you don't have a positive outlook on yourself. And then basically, what it really comes down to with us guys is, we have to like ourselves. We have to actually, before we hope for a woman to like us, we've got to like the person that we see in the mirror. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, to a large degree, we have to feel good about who we are and like what we see and like the person that we are. And if we don't feel like that, then it's always going to be difficult to attract a woman. And if you did, it probably won't work out. So it's all about changing you, changing yourself, changing your thinking. As I said, I didn't change every single thing about myself because there were things about myself that I really liked. You know, I had a good sense of humour growing up. Even when I was negative, I was always respectful towards you know, people. I was brought up with good manners. I was kind. So that I didn't need to change. And I'm confident loads of you have got good qualities. But there was that aspect of myself that I had to completely eliminate and get out of my life and change, and that was this negative thinking and feeling sorry for myself and constantly believing everything was going to be negative for me in this area of dating and relationships. And that's when it changed, and it changed in such a dramatic way. A lot of women started to compliment me. I went on a lot of dates throughout my life until I found the girl that I wanted to be with, and then was in I've been in several long-term relationships. So if I can do it, and whatever we call normal in our society, I think a lot of you would get it. I'm a very normal guy. Probably most people relate to me. Most people, I would hope, they're not going to be intimidated by me or think, compare themselves to me. And I'm also got a high opinion of myself. I really believe in myself. But yeah, so if I could do it, all of you can do it. And I helped so many guys when I was teaching, when I was officially a dating and relationship expert. I helped guys from all different backgrounds, all shades of life, all sizes, some with hair, some without hair, some musty, some not, some tall, and they all got results. They all done well. So all I can do is tell you the truth and give you the information, and the rest is up to you guys. And I'm not gonna talk about this again because because it's I did enjoy it actually. I hope it helps a lot of you because it's quite exhausting. And if I'll be honest, if you guys want to know why don't Johnny want to talk about this more? Why don't you want to keep elaborating? Because I spent years in the area of dating relationships, and I was passionate. And I had this conversation over and over again, and I just, quite frankly, I'm just at a different stage of my life now, and there's other things that I want to talk about more, but I've given everything I can on this video. I don't want to pat on the back. I already appreciate how much, see, this is gratitude. I appreciate already how much all of you appreciate me. The support is, it's unbelievable. There's no money in the world that could buy the support I've had throughout the years. And I get a little bit of criticism. It doesn't bother me. I expect it, right? It's quite little, and that has always made me stronger and better. People have got their opinion. So it's just and it's crazy because it's such a simple thing that is simple, but when you practice it, it's life-changing. And I'm going to end on this, right? I'm going to say, if for those of you that love video games, right? I was a gamer growing up, and I love it. I think we all did, right? Let me share this with you, right? Let's end it on something positive, light-hearted, and let you guys, I'll let you run with it, right? And you're going to let me know in the box below. You guys are going to have your opinions, right? By the way, I appreciate all your support. You guys are great. And the criticism. The criticism has always been brilliant over the years. It toughened me up. It made me appreciate life. Right. Do you guys remember when you was playing a video game when you was younger and you got to a certain level and you couldn't beat the boss, you couldn't get past it, and you were getting so frustrated and angry, and the more and more frustrated you got, and angry, and I remember, it's funny, I did it, right? We all did it as kids. Mum used to say, what you do? Like smashing the control pad, you know. My friend, he used to come in, right? He used to lose. He used to smash the control pad and then jump on it about, 5 times. You had to stop him, right? He got really angry when he lost. I got upset. But how many of you have been in that situation where every time you do that, you just keep dying on the game? You can't get past it. The anger, the aggression, the frustration, the more you attack the game, the more it just gets harder. But listen to this. So maybe you said, you know what, I'm done with this game. You put the game aside, you start playing another game. A week later, you come at home, you think, you know what, let me just put the game on again. You're in a good mood, you're calm, you're relaxed. You put the game in, you're on the level, all of a sudden, bang, it clicks. You figure it out. You find a way, you beat the level. And you say, oh my God, oh gosh, right? I can't believe it was that easy. How did I not see that before? How comes I died 30 times on that game, or I was stuck on a certain level for months and I couldn't see that it was that simple? And that's how dating is. That's how dating is, in my experience, with this whole mystery that us men have this problem with attracting a girlfriend or getting over these fears. When you have a good attitude and you put the effort in, obviously, but you're not desperate. Obviously you want the goal, and you relax and you be yourself and you have a good attitude, it just works out. I'll end it on that. Become fearless.